So now we seem to have a pretty good idea of what was going on in the New World, the Americas, before Columbus's arrival in 1492. But what was going on in the Old World before 1492? To put it simply, Europe was in a state of chaos. Vikings were invading from the north, Islamic forces were invading from the east, and there were several efforts to try to reclaim some of this conquered territory. For example, from 1095 to 1291, there were a series of religious crusades in which European forces, under the power of the Church, tried to reclaim the Holy Land from occupying Islamic forces. Young men from across Europe enlisted to fight in the Crusades in hopes of receiving eternal salvation, as well as some of those Eastern riches, which they didn't have access to in Europe. Keep in mind, there were a lot of valuable goods in the East that were not available in Europe. That's going to be very important later on. One major city to fall to Islamic invaders was the city of Constantinople, the capital of the Roman Empire. The fall of this city marked the end of the Roman Empire. The invading Turks renamed the city Istanbul. Another region of Europe, which was now conquered by Islamic forces, was the Iberian Peninsula. The Iberian Peninsula is this region here in Europe, which is made collectively of the present-day countries of Spain and Portugal. Now, throughout the Reconquista, meaning reconquest, of this territory, Christian forces forcibly converted both Jews and Muslims to Christianity. Those who didn't play ball were either exiled or killed. These practices came in handy later on when Spanish forces encountered Native Americans in their arrival to the New World. The completion of the Reconquista was made possible in 1469 when the two strongest Christian kingdoms in the Iberian Peninsula were united. In that year, 1469, King Ferdinand of Aragon married Queen Isabella of the Kingdom of Castile. The unity of these two kingdoms and the combination of their forces was powerful enough to conquer Granada, the last remaining occupied area within the Iberian Peninsula. This marked the end of the Reconquista and the founding of the nation-state of Spain. Another nation-state emerged in England, following the bloody War of the Roses, where the two most powerful families in England, the Yorks and the Lancasters, duked it out for who was going to control the island nation. Henry Tudor, head of the Lancaster family, who later took the title King Henry VII, emerged victorious over his rival, Richard III of the House of York. However, to represent unity between the two families, Henry VII took Richard III's niece's hand in marriage, unifying the Lancasters and the Yorks, and creating one large nation-state in the island nation of England. Today's video is pretty simple and straightforward. Following a period of chaos in Europe, fueled by invasions and civil war, nation-states were founded in the newly unified countries of Spain and England. In our next video, we will look at how these newly unified European nation-states worked to set up trade routes with Asia in order to gain access to valuable Eastern goods, and in doing so, accidentally made their way into the New World.